Good morning, student. Today's date is 17 January, and we'll be discussing the newspaper, the Hindu newspaper analysis. Let's get started. The first news is about budget 2026-2027. It is discussing about the upcoming budget, which is to come in month of Feb, and recommending or suggesting it that what should be included and what should be excluded in order to keep the moment of growth momentum of India. It talks about India's economy recently showed resilience in 2025 despite global challenges, aided by reformist measures. The 2026-2027 budget aims to presently we have to see the budget for 2026 and 27 aims to continue the momentum by focusing on growth, enhancing capital expenditure, and social sector spending while maintaining fiscal consolidation and debt management. So we have to boost our growth by managing fiscal consolidation and debt management. We have to keep a balance between this. The government plans to increase the capital outlay in defense to 30% from 26.4% defense capital outlay from 26 to 30% in 2025-2026 and boost the Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, by 10,000 crore, establishing an Eastern India Defense Industrial Corridor. Eastern India Defense Industrial Corridor is also under consideration. We already have two defense corridors, one in Uttar Pradesh and other is in Tamil Nadu. So in order to boost the Make in India or self-reliance on, especially on the defense equipments, India is promoting and capital expenditures in defense sector. Private enterprise contributed 65% to defense export. This is important data, or not only for pre but mains. We can say the private investment has increased to 65% in defense sector. Defense export, sorry. A Defense Export Promotion Council, Defense Export Promotion Council is purpose to coordinate with various stakeholders to achieve the 50,000 crore export targeted by export of 50,000 crore by 2028 and 29. This is the achievements. This is like a target which have been made, and that is why the Defense Export Promotion Council has been gaining on this. The National Critical Mineral Mission, we got the mineral missions for critical minerals approved by early 2025, aims to secure critical minerals. A tailing recovery program and dedicated financing are suggested to support this mission. Next point is the remission of duties and taxes on exported products schemes allocated of rupees 18,233 crores need a significant increase to enhance the export competitiveness. So articles such as that there should be an increase in remission of duties and taxes. Increased remission on duty and taxes so that the overall export production schemes could be boosted. Next point article discusses India's global capability center require an evolved transfer pricing framework. Transfer pricing framework which is to be evolved. The government may issue guidance to acceptable models for different categories to boost drone drone adoption and to get boost to it and export. The government should increase the PLIs. These are the suggestions which the articles gives to boost to keep the momentum of growth in India. One is that there should be an private investments promotion through Defense Export Promoter Council and an export target of 50,000 crores. We have the defense corridors, we have the defense capital expenditure increase. We got the national critical mineral missions also to boost the to boost the import or supply of national critical missions. We need to remission on duty and taxes so that the export schemes can be promoted. We need the adoption of transfer pricing framework to increase more export schemes. Drone adoption, it it is of course a future thing, and we need more drones not only for surveillance and not only for strategic purposes, but also we need to fulfill our domestic demands like in use of drones in agricultures and other sector also. So if you have to get boost to the drone adoptions, we need to give more supply, more boost to the money, especially schemes like PLI, production linked incentive schemes, and R&D fund should be increased. This is what the article suggests. Article also suggests to borrow the money. We can prefer the corporate bonds to to induce more liquidity and addressing tax dispute pendency and dual track disposal system, filling 40% vacancies at Commissioner of Income Tax level is necessary. This is all the suggestions has been given by the article, and removing restrictions on newly incorporated companies for authorized economic operator certificates. Authorized economic operator certificate. This is need to be incorporated, which will boost or which will enhances our trade efficiency. We need the continuing custom tariff reforms, reducing tariff slabs, and thus the article lastly suggests that the 2026-2027 budget should focus on sustainable growth by enhancing competitiveness, ensuring policy certainty, competitiveness, policy certainty to gain the confidence of the investors of different kinds. We need address structural bottleneck also. This is all the article suggests about. Let's get to the next topic. The title is Government to Recognize 1 lakh tribal healers. Now this becomes an important not only for social inclusion but also giving boost or upliftment the very basic mass of the people which belongs to tribal areas and who lives in very tribal zones. So union government plans to formally to recognize 1 lakh tribal healers. Recognize means giving them or recognizing under the gazette, recognizing under the government as a partner in strengthening health service. for tribal communities. As announced at, it has been of course announced by Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Tribal Affairs Minister Joel Oram encouraged state government to explore market linkage and partnership with FMCG, food market and corporate, and pharmaceutical companies to create job opportunities in traditional medicines. Expert from expert from AIMS, WHO, ICMR, Health Ministry, and Ayush Ministry will conduct session to enhance the technical knowledge and service delivery capabilities of tribal healers. These are the we got that government bodies like AIMS, ICMR, Health Ministry, Ayush Ministry. These are the body which will enhance the technical knowledge of tribals. Ministry of Tribal Affairs signed a MOU with Memorandum of Understanding with ICMR, Regional Medical Research Center, Bhubaneswar, to establish Bharat Tribal Health Observatory, the first national tribal health advisory. This is this body becomes an important. This institution becomes an importance because this is first of its kind. Bharat Tribal Health Observatory. It will give boost to the Tribal Health Observatory. The initiatives focusing on malarias, leprosy, tuberculosis in tribal districts. There's a planning with over 400 healers from scheduled tribe communities. So of course this becomes an important news because this not only promote the tribal's livelihood, but it will also boost the India's healthcare conditions in India total, and there will be more inclusive growth of the society. Next topic is there was a male elephant that was killed at least 20 people. That was like this is a issue which has been in debate from various times, that male elephant or human elephant, you would say human elephant conflict. Like recently in Jharkhand, 220 people were killed in Chaibasa human wildlife conflict in the region, and massive operations over 100 forest personnel is underway to track and capture the animals. This created a panic and destroyed property and killed livestock. Specialists from Odisha and Bengals are been enlisted to tranquilize the elephant. And this is what is talking about all over the elephant, man, human elephants, human wildlife conflict. And this happens because of habitat loss, encroaching, loss of forest cover, or you would say a reduction to it. There is diversion of land. These are the cause for human wildlife conflict. Next article talks about that European Union leaders chief guest at Republic Day. So this becomes an important news that EU leaders will be chief guest on 26th January. European Union leader Antonio Costa and Ursula von der Leyen will be the chief guest at India's 77th Republic Day celebration. The Republic Day parade will be themed around the theme will be 150 years of Vande Mataram. This is the theme of this year's Republic Day. In a move to end VIP culture, enclosure at the parade will be named after Indian rivers, and those at the beating retreat ceremony will be named after musical instruments. The parade will feature first time military show cars such as Bhairav Battalion, Shakti Band Regiment, Drone Shakti, and a universal rocket launcher. This will be featured for the first time. For the first time, European naval contingent will participate in the parade. That there will be total 18 marching contingent and 13 bands. And this is what about the tableaux from 6 states and departments will highlight the Vande Mataram theme with painted paintings by Tajendra Kumar Mitra displayed as a Kartavya Path. The main important things is that European leader Antonio Antonio Costa will be, and with Ursula von der Leyen, they will be the chief guest in 26th January parade, Republic Day parade. That will be 77th Republic Day, and theme will be 150 years of Vande Mataram. The next topic is India EU Free Trade Pact, that is called Mother of All Pacts. The Commerce EU India Trade Pact. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal described the free trade agreement with European Union as a mother of all deals. Mother of all deals. Compared to 7 FTAs India has signed with developed countries since 2000, 7 FTA since 2014 with, of course, 7 FTA means 7 countries will be involved. India has signed trade deals with UK, Mauritius, UAE, the 4 EFTA countries, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Oman, along with early harvest deal with Australia. Mr. Goyal emphasized that FTA with EU is a win-win situation, offering super deals for both parties in sector of mutual interest. The minister did not confirm or deny a specific deadline for FTA, such as January 27 date mentioned, indicating flexibility in the negotiation times. So we need to cover this, but this is the news which talked about the trade pact, mother of all deals, and it has to be signed in future. So we'll see that when it is signed, we'll see the provisions of it and what will be needed for our exam. The next heading is Om Birla, democratic institutions must be transparent. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla emphasized that domestic institutions must be transparent, inclusive. Domestic institutions must be transparent, inclusive, responsive, and accountable. This is a keyword becomes important because this we can use in ethics paper by mentioning directly that Lok Sabha Speaker, like we do not have to mention the name, but we have to mention the post of it. So we can directly mention that Lok Sabha Speaker has asked or has stated that the domestic institution should be transparent, inclusive, responsive, and accountable. So that overall inclusiveness, the government citizenship relation can be strengthened. And it was he said in 28th conference of speaker and presiding officer of Commonwealth, which was actually the transparency fosters public trust, inclusivity ensure all voices. And this is all he has talked about in this article. He highlighted that modern democracies face unprecedented opportunities and complex challenges, and thus citizens' expectations while adhering to constitutional values. He noted that consensus and dissent are strength of democracy, but must be expressed within the parliamentary property. So this these are the statements which becomes important while writing our mains answer. Next one is the LTI Mitri has secured 3,000 crore contract from Central Board of Direct Taxes to develop AI-based program for modernizing India's national tax analytic platform. The contract known as Insight 2.0 project. Insight 2.0 project. It has been signed by a company and Direct Central Board of Direct Taxes. It has aimed to develop the AI based program for modernize India's national tax analysis. This is a boost to digital infrastructure and adoption of technologies for better governance. There is a news where Prime Minister highlighted the growth of startups in India, noting an increase from fewer than 500 a decade ago to over 2 lakh today with nearly 125 active unicorns compared to just 4 in 2014. So this is data which we can use while writing our mains answer for the boost to startups ecosystem in India. Startup ecosystem. But in 2014 we have 500 and now we have 2 lakh startups with 125 nearly unicorns. Unicorns are the which have net worth of greater than 1 billion US dollar. He emphasized the shift in perception towards the risk taking, which is now mainstream. The government has invested over 25 crores through a fund of funds for startups. Commerce Industrial Ministry Piyush Goyal announced the focus of Funds 2.0 approved in April with 10,000 crore corpus to boost the areas like artificial intelligence, machine learning, quantum tech, defense, aerospace. So this program become important. The fund of funds. This actually have been made by the government to boost startups. Next article is about discuss about geopolitical turmoil initiated by the Trump administration to annex the Greenland. US Congress is expected to discuss a law imposing up to 500% tariff on countries buying oil or uranium from Russia, and US has increased sanction on Iran. Indian Ministry of External Affairs expressed concern over the Venezuela, but it did not address the US in pressurizing India to cease operation at Chabahar. So, Ministry of Affairs expressed concerns over the US actions or threat against other countries also like Cuba and Colombia. And so this India plans to reduce trade with Iran and all those. The article discusses about this only, and BRICS summit recently Iran has to host. There is a Chabahar port. Chabahar port. This belongs to Iran, and India had its strategic significance. Because it provides a route to Central Asia. It will counter the China's China's extensive BRI, Belt and Road initiatives, or it will also help in India's boost the surveillance of Indian oceans, and it is also a strategic and economic benefit for India. And so India has previously received an exemption, and Department of Treasury issued a letter with guidance on a condition sanctions waiver. ED Enforcement Direct has filed a prosecution complaint against Al Falah Group. Chief Jawad Ahmad Siddiqui attaching a 54 acres plot worth 139 crores with total alleged crime proceeding. The case involved alleged fund generations and laundering linked to Falah. Al Falah University was scrutinized after three doctors were linked to terror modules. So this was directly related to Delhi Red Fort blast. Al Falah. Alleged violations include misinterpretation of National Assessment and Accreditation Council (NAC) status and false claim of UGC under Section 12B. National Medical Commission's norms misrepresenting in obtaining approvals. So this is all about the news of the day, and there is one news also related to panel set norms for religious sites and sanctuaries. Environment Ministry apex expert body has issued guideline for diverting land within the wildlife parks or sanctuaries for religious structures, treating any construction on forest land post 1980 as encroachment. The guidelines were promoted by 2024 proposal for land diversion within Gujarat's Balram Ambaji Wildlife Sanctuary, which hosts historical temples Balram and Ambaji. In July 2024, the Standing Committee of National Board for Wildlife approved a proposal by Param Mukshri Mukundpurji Seva Trust to use 0.35 hectares of forest land, but revoked it in October 2024 due to unrecognized legal right. This is the article talks about the forest land used for temple, or we can say directly that not a temple, mosque. We should not mention those things. We can use directly the religious sites. So diversion of land will be considered as encroachment, and this is what the Ministry of Education has talked about. There was one news of there was Ladakhi civil society leaders which has been scheduled to talk with the Union Home Minister. And this is all about the news of the day. Thank you for watching.